Well, hello, you sexy little vixen, you. Do you know the virtues of being made love to by a older woman? Oh, I thought this was my J date video. Sorry. Never mind. It is I, Whimsy, your favorite remote viewer named Whimsy, your favorite naturopathic doctor named Whimsy. Of all the naturopathic doctors who have ever lived in this apartment, I'm pretty sure I'm your very favorite. Well, today I've been asked if I could take a look at November 5th, the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. Is there going to be mayhem? Is there going to be chaos? Or is there going to be smooth sailing the day that we all go out to vote? Well, as many of you know, a lot of people are already voting early. They're already mailing in those ballots. They're already showing up. Record numbers in Georgia. I personally am feeling pretty gosh darn optimistic. But I figured we'd throw the cards to just see what's up. And if you could like, share, and subscribe, I would be forever grateful. Of course, we'll do the impasse prayer beforehand because we always like to stay positive and protected. I don't personally feel when I go into this energy as a remote viewer that the problem is so much civil unrest. I think that 70% of voters either have I don't see mass dislike of Harris in maybe 65 to 70% of the voters. You have extremes on both on the left and on the right that have extreme ideas, and they tend to scream the loudest. But most people are kind of in the middle. I really respect and appreciate the fact that she went on Fox News, and she's also showing up for things like the Howard Stern show. I think all of that is going to help her expand her base in places like Florida, which has a large percentage not only of undecided voters, but independent voters who tend to be swinging more towards Harris because of issues like women's right to choose, etc. As I've said in the past, my biggest concern is actually international unrest. I'm very concerned about what's going on with China, the fact that China has been engaged in war games, intimidating Taiwan, the fact that we have a buildup of U.S. troops in South Asia. That looks to me more of a concern than anything else. And of course, we have North Korean soldiers now entering in to fight the Ukrainian war, and Israel is now, according to the Israelis, ready to strike and deal with Iran. Now, Iran is interesting because a large percentage of Iranians don't support Khamenei, and so they're very weak in terms of a very good chance that their current government could be toppled. All of this leads to incredible international unrest. This is the perfect time if you were an enemy of the West, if you were an enemy of the United States, this would be the perfect time to attack and to try and weaken the United States. We have a changing of the guards. A lot of people feel that Harris is untested. We don't know if she would be able to handle somebody like Xi out of China or Putin out of Russia, what's going on with Iran, the fact that Iran and Hezbollah are feeling, even though they've been heavily hit by Israel, they've been firing quite a few missiles on Israel, and now Israel is becoming increasingly vulnerable because they're running out of protective ammo. The Iron Dome has failed a couple of times, and there have been a few deaths, and many people have been wounded. All of this seems to be inching us closer to World War III. If you wanted to destroy the West, if you wanted to destroy the United States, this is a pretty weak time in our history. We're not solid as a country. We're having challenges in terms of the fentanyl crisis, the fact that we're divided politically. the fact that we have either a mentally insane person who's been compromised, Donald Trump, or an untested woman entering the White House. This could make our enemies feel emboldened, like now is the time that they would want to strike, either attempting to take Taiwan or some other kind of aggressive act by the East. Remember, as much as we want the West to win, they want the East to win. And so we really, as empaths, as empathic people, we really want to put ourselves in the shoes of the other. And when we put ourselves in the shoes of the other, we see very clearly that Russia wants Ukraine. They want it. They got to have it. They want that oil. They want that grain. They want that trade route. We have been squeezing the trade routes, the West and the Arab states, for a really long time, ever since the Silk Road, when Spain was looking for a new way to get to the gold, trying to go around to avoid Africa, to avoid the blockade by the Arabs. We've been having fights about trade and trade routes, attacking ships that are leaving the Suez Canal, being attacked by the Houthis. Can we make a deal? Can we make a deal with the East so that everybody feels like they are getting what they want in terms of trade without putting our own security at risk? That is a huge question that we have asked ourselves. That was what Obama attempted to do with the Iran deal. Did it work? Did it not work? Was it wise to take away the Iran deal and leave nothing in its place? Was it so wrong that Trump, according to his words, was trying to bankrupt Iran and then force them into a deal? Well, I disagree with with Trump. I don't think that Iran ever should be part of the Abraham Accords, because strengthening financially and economically a country that wants to destroy the state of Israel, that's never a good deal. You never want to go into partnership with somebody that's determined to wipe you out. So I don't agree with Trump on that. But let's go ahead, and we're just going to look at November 5th, what the energy is going to be like up from now until November 5th, and see if the problem is enemies from within, or if the problem is we're getting, unfortunately, closer to World War III. All right, so please say the empath's prayer with me if you know it, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the cards. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively as a community, we say, Amen. All right, are we looking at World War III? Are we looking at peace? Are we finally going to get to a place where we can negotiate a fair trade deal with the East without anybody being hurt? Should we be this harsh with Cuba? People in Cuba can't even get bread. Should we be punishing the regular person who's not even involved in politics, who's experiencing the brunt of the embargoes and the sanctions that are currently being placed against countries like Cuba, Eastern Europe, etc.? It's the regular person that suffers. It's not the wealthy that suffer. Let's see how this plays out in the coming weeks. All right, in the next couple of weeks up until the election, the power is with the people. it's actually quite optimistic. Let's take a look. You can see here that the base card is the Magician. We will pull this off. We will be able to avoid a crisis. You can see that there's power there. I feel like the feds are mobilized. I think that they're ready to go. I think they're going to squash any kind of insurrections. I think that they're ahead of the game. I think they're much further along than we realize because of that Magician card. And the Karma card, the reason I say that is because the Karma card is smoother waters lay ahead. We're going to be able to come out of this crisis. We're going to be able to sit down with Xi and work out a realistic trade. We don't want to stop trade with China. China is a great trade partner. Good things come from trade with China. We just need to work some stuff out. We will work it out and it will ultimately be good. This is a trade route. This is coming out of and moving towards something positive. So if you're talking about getting a load out or getting things out and you're asking about trade, this is quite auspicious. You can see when you look at this card that the rocky waters are in the past and he is directing the boat towards the smoother waters. If you're interpreting swords as years, as many readers do, a full year is a single sword, then we're looking at many years of smooth waters lay ahead. We have the power to resolve the conflict. Nobody wants to go to war. The people of China, I've been to China, it's a beautiful country actually. Nobody wants this. We can work these issues out. Justice is coming for all of us. Justice is coming for all of us. This is a card that denotes balance, the sword of truth, and you can see the balance of justice here. What one does balanced by their karma. So it's again quite auspicious. And we have two major arcana out of 3 cards. Again, quite a powerful reading. The crossing challenge for us is there she is. Most likely we're looking at Kamala will be the 47th president of the United States, and she will be a strong leader. She will hold the reins of justice. She will be a fair queen. Remember, the Queen of Wands is an ancient image. It's an image that is thousands and thousands of years old. The first imagery of the Queen of Wands actually comes from the Yoruba of Nigeria. And it was this entity was called, or this goddess was called Oshun. And Oshun is dripping with honey and sweetness, which was one of the reasons why she was draped in yellow. But there are other stories about her yellow dress. She was also typified by the sunflower, so bringing the positive things. She is stubborn, Oshun. She seeks justice absolute. Boom, boom, my way or the highway. It's often a fiery, passionate card. The fact that it's with justice, again, is quite auspicious. Now, Kamala Harris is actually a Gemini, but she has many of the aspects of Oshun. Probably, I would believe her Orisha if she were to go to the Babalao, she would probably be a daughter of Oshun because she has many of the aspects of Oshun. Oshun has dark aspects and she has negative aspects. But this need to be right and to see the thing, I will see the thing done, that is very much what we see in the Queen of Wands. What is above the country is a feeling that we are frightened. You could be agoraphobic right now, feeling frightened to go outside, terrified of the outside world because of all the crazy stuff that is going on. Certainly that's how it feels if you spend too much time on YouTube. You start feeling like, my gosh, what the heck is going on out here? And what we're sitting in is 2 of Cups. Be like Kamala. She does not believe that the American people are stupid, right? That's what she said on Fox. She would never say that about the American people, right? So 2 of Cups, reach across the aisle. Don't assume the worst of one another. assume that we all have a good heart, that we are good at heart, and that people, when they know more, when they do better, as Kamala would say. When we know better, we do better. So, Two of Cups is to reach across the aisle. So, again, this is looking really positive for January 5th. And what we're coming out of is a defensiveness. Even the people we don't agree with, they love our country. This is to defend the land. People that maybe join the military because they have high ideals. They want to serve the country. They want to protect the country that they love. And so even if they don't agree with you or don't see it like you, or maybe they can contribute a new vision of the country that you've never considered. The idea here is that everyone is defending the land. We should not question one another's patriotism. We may not agree with how they're handling things, but this is a strong defense of the land. And what we're entering into is sunny days lay ahead. Again, this is very auspicious. And it would indicate that she goes in with a very strong support and probably with a really high approval rating. I think she's going to have a very high approval rating. I think a lot of Republicans, there are quite a number of Republicans that have split and gone with Harris. In fact, something like 100 have gone on the campaign trail with her. So we have this power and optimism and justice and people defending the land, coming together, a fear of one another, a fear of the outside world. Our country is strong. We may feel like we are weak, that we're falling apart, but the truth of the matter is we are strong as a country. Again, very auspicious for the seventh house to be the strength card, because that is the collective consciousness of us as a nation, as Americans. And our opposition is Four of Pentacles, feeling strapped financially. This again could be because of the sanctions that are going on, because China has lost some business, Russia sanctioned and losing business. So we're seeing this economic pulling back here from our enemies. And the hopes and the fears at this time, the star, that we be guided. The star is to be guided, to receive a guidance, that we receive the proper guidance. And the final outcome for us is Two of Pentacles, rocky waters economically. There could be a couple challenges with keeping the boat afloat. People that want to pull their money out, pull themselves out of the US dollar and put it towards crypto. This is a way of flattening and dropping the strength of the dollar. If we don't invest in ourselves, then we weaken the dollar. These kinds of things could lead to economic problems down the road. Over the issue of strength, again, our strength is in cooperation, Knight of Cups, which again is the ability. I'm seeing a lot of infrastructure, a lot of money going into infrastructure and trying to heal. There's this healing that happens between us and Russia, us and China. Page of Cups comes in to heal the tensions that exist. Over guidance, new economic prosperity awaits both us and the East if we learn to cooperate. And the final outcome economically, confidence in the economic sector, Nine of Pentacles. We will be confident again as a nation. This crisis will pass. It may look scary, but to be quite honest with you, these cards are not doom and gloom. These are optimistic cards that show that we're headed in the right direction. We are much stronger than we realize. Don't let the fear mongers affect you too much. Vote early if you can, and be confident that our country is strong and the world is going to come through this. We will work out our differences and it will be for the better for everyone. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can do so by booking through Booksy, and then I will call you at the appointed time. Be kind to all, so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Good night.